contests. 3 of these men will advance to join Craig Stevens in the semi-finals tomorrow night in Dunfermline. So this is the first quarter-final matches. No rest for Looking Sharp. I mean, he pretty much went backstage after the Battle Royal and was told that he was out next. As I said before, management do a blind draw when it comes to pairing off anybody in the second round, and it's luck of the draw whether you get later or you're forced Looking Sharp to come straight back out again. But you know, he's arguably still fresh, still buzzing from helping Craig Stevens win the Battle Royal and eliminate Joey Legend, and if anybody can overcome the fact that there's virtually no rest routine, the last match in this is going to be Looking Sharp. I mean, here's a guy with potential galore. He recently appeared on national television, I'm sure you all saw that. We'll be hoping to put in a 5-star performance here at 7 Deadly Sins. And it's the first time he's ever competed in this tournament, so there's a good chance he's not entirely sure what this is going to mean for him. Particularly in light of having to wrestle 2 matches virtually back to back.
This, once again then, is return to the ring for Luke. Ladies and gentlemen, intelligence, relevance and beauty. Ladies and gentlemen, weighing in tonight, and ripped, cut and jacked in a half stone. Standing at a colossal 5'4". Ladies and gentlemen, my name What can I say after that? Other than let's have the music for his opponent.
Well, Looking Sharp introducing himself. Perhaps not as well as the legendary John Short would do it, but you take what you get, I suppose. And Sharp, this is his first time in 7 Deadly Sins. He's taking on a man making his 5th 7 Deadly Sins appearance. Only he and Mike Musso are tied for the most amount of appearances. And here's Taylor Bryden, who's still finding it a bit weird that the crowd are on his side again. Of course, I'm sure you're familiar with all his shenanigans, stuff that he was doing as part of the contingency plan, a group that was formed at 7 Deadly Sins back in 2015. And Bryden, in the most decorated tag team wrestling all of WTL, he has done so much in the way of rule breaking, of cheating, and being such a despicable person in many respects. But in light of what happened back in April on Wrestling Showdown, when he and Dickie Divers lost that tag team match to Mike Musso and Vortex, and then Divers attacked Bryden after the match and effectively kicked him out of the contingency plan, the crowd have taken to Taylor Bryden, and it's still a little strange for him. But if you're not a long-time fan of WTL, you probably don't know that Bryden used to be cheered by the fans. He was one of the most popular tag team wrestlers this company's ever had. He was in a team called the Disco Biscuits, and they were stupidly popular. Everybody loved them, and Bryden was such a popular guy. But of course, time went on, his focus changed, and now it seems to have swung round again. And so he should have the advantage in this contest. He had a much shorter opening round battle royal, as you saw. Went straight for his nemesis Divers, and the two of them eliminated each other instantaneously. Just had a bit of a moment to rest. Also, he is familiar with the way the tournament is laid out. Again, this is his 5th appearance, so he should have the advantage over Looking Sharp. Bryden's only ever reached the semi-finals of 7 Deadly Sins in both 2013 and 17. He's never got any further than that. and he's going to go all the way this year, because how better to stick it to Dickie Divers, who also in the tournament will be seeing him in a bit, than to go all the way. And I'm sure if Bryden has his way, it'll be he versus Divers in the finals in that last man standing match. No rules, anything goes. Imagine what Bryden can do to Divers then. And Looking Sharp is just making Bryden wait, taking his time. He's in no rush. As I mentioned before, he's throwing that nose guard. There's a nose broken in Denmark, and it caused him some great discomfort, but management of allowed him to wear this nose guard.
Excuse me, referee. You can please take our ginger-haired friend here into his corner. Aye, I'm very familiar with the scumbags, tramps, junkies, and layabouts of the people of Musselburgh. Check him for any weapons and or foreign objects, please. Thank you.
Well, Sharp wanting Taylor Bryden checked for foreign objects. In the past, I'd half expected to be covered in the things, because that's just the way the contingency plan roll. Always able to find a way to break the rules and cheat wherever necessary, but he's somewhat changed his ways as Taylor Bryden. Again, he's still not entirely accepted by the fans, but I mean, in a toss-up between he and Divers, and certainly he Looking Sharp, it's a no-brainer as Sharp, like he's wearing that nose guard, fell over the ropes and landed flat on his face. That won't put him in a good mood. And Sharp, in very many ways, reminiscent of Blondie Barrett, because he's just stalling, taking his time, making his opponent wait for him. There's no rush. It's sometimes your opponent wants to steam in and get the match over quickly, but Taylor Bryden's too wise for this. He's been around a long time. Nobody debuted in the end of 2005. He's got a lot of experience under his belt. Again, he's competed in 7 Deadly Sins countless times. And there is the bell. So the match is now officially underway. One of these men will advance into the semi-finals. Of course, Craig Stevens is already there. At the end of their set of matches, then the quarterfinals, management will then take the 4 men who have advanced and pair them off for tomorrow night's semi-final submission matches. Again, every round of 7 Deadly Sins has different rules, as Bryden using his power and weight advantages to back Sharp in the corner. I mentioned that nose guard earlier. Obviously management have had a physician check it out just to make sure that it's entirely legitimate, and of course it is. It was a medical device. I'm sure Sharp would use it as a weapon if he was able to, but of course by taking it off he does expose his still somewhat damaged face, so he's going to try and avoid being hit in the face and try and avoid getting that nose guard taken off him. Looking Sharp, not a man who appears in WTL a huge lot. He's been here a few times. I think last time was possibly last year. I saw in Showdown. And did you see that? Looking Sharp clapped his own hands and was trying to make it look as if Taylor Bryden hit him, because the referee wasn't watching at the time, he was looking elsewhere. And that's how smart Sharp is. It's one of the things you watch Looking Sharp since really is. Let's go for the microphone again.
Chance.
Well, Sharp saying he's going to give Bryden one more chance, and it's not a street fight. I mean, it's not like neither man knows this. Hang on, let's go for it again. Well, that somewhat backfired them. The referee saw every single second of that. So Sharp has been exposed there. His shenanigans have backfired. You see Bryden just casually waiting for him. He'll wait all night if he has to. Sharp remonstrating. So the things about looking sharp is that, again, if you watch him since the way he debuted, he's not the biggest and heaviest man in a match. So he's had to be very cunning, very sly, and he completely is. Like, don't get me wrong, he's a tremendous wrestler, has an amazing amount of ability. But he's so cunning, he's like a fox. He can find a loophole, he'll find a way to sneak in a cheeky shot somewhere. He can bend rules like nobody's business. And again, when you're up against Taylor Bryden, who's more experienced and indeed has more history in 7 Deadly Sins, you want to use that advantage as Sharp moves at the grabs ropes. Good ring positioning in a way, honestly. So you want to get that advantage to try and overcome the deficit that you have. I mean, this in theory should be a walk in the park for Bryden, but I do wonder if his mind is somewhat on divers. He went straight for him when he hit the Battle Royal, and I think that's part of the impetus. I'm not sure if Divers was entered into the 7 Sins tournament first. I believe he was, and then once Bryden heard about it, he petitioned management to put him in. So he obviously wanted to get his hands on Divers after what happened between them. But if he's focusing on his former tag partner and not looking sharp, he's going to be in all sorts of trouble. And Bryden just out-muscling Sharp yet again. He wants the referee to get his hands and knees. And oh, okay. Bryden seems cool with this. What's Sharp going to do now? Oh, I see. Sharp's going to try and stand on the ref's back if he can get up there, and use that height advantage to try and get the better of Taylor Bryden. I mean, generally the taller man has the advantage in this kind of thing. Oh, right in the face! And looking Sharp takes a massive tumble off the referee's back, leaving the footprints in that nice white shirt of his. And Bryden, maybe he's tired of playing around now, maybe he wants to make sure he advances into the semi-finals, and deposits looking Sharp with that huge body slam. Bryden's going to climb the top turnbuckle. Perhaps wants to put this one away as early as he can. Traditionally in 7 Sins, because it's over one night, you need to conserve as much energy as possible. At least now the guys are going to get a rest. And Sharp just threw himself out the ropes. Bryden slipped and landed badly. Took a bit too long on that turnbuckle, and now Sharp, like a shark in the waters, with a foot right in the throat of Taylor Bryden, throws him on the floor. I don't know if that's maybe just to give him a bit of a break from potential assault from Bryden, so looking Sharp can recatch his breath. So of course it'll take Bryden a couple of moments to climb back in the ring. Maybe that's Sharp's plan, but it also means that he's got the high ground and he can stomp all over Bryden as he gets in the ring, just as we're seeing. And Sharp, not popular with this crowd at all, he just does not care, he revels in it. Look at this throttling, and now sing on his throat as well. There's some unique offense for you. But Bryden's up, and Cap holds him back in the ring. As we've seen in the past, Bryden, hell of an athlete, very calculating, but he's got a temper, so don't rile him, because you will come off first, believe me. And Sharp throttling him in the corner again. And just because Bryden's somewhat playing by the rules these days, he's somewhat on the fan's side, or they're on his, maybe I should say. Don't think he's forgotten how to cheat. I'm sure Bryden would happily use some of those old contingency plan tactics against looking Sharp if he needed to. But Sharp has that arm firmly clamped around Bryden's throat, trying to get around the carotid artery to slow the flow of blood to the brain and potentially cause Bryden to pass out. Referee's right in position, checking it's not a choke. Listening for a verbal submission from Taylor Bryden, watching to see if he taps the mat 3 times to signal him giving up. His arm's fallen there, referee will be about to check it, and he is. That's once. There's twice. It falls again. This match will be over. And oh, just about. That was millimeters off the canvas. Taylor Bryden still a fight left in him. Slowly getting back up to his feet. Manoeuvring himself round. He's now facing Looking Sharp. Pressures off the throat. And a couple of big punches. Rapid fire jabs. Ducks the clothesline. And they run right into each other. And Looking Sharp gets the better of that one. Just knocks down Bryden, who can't be 100% considering all he's been through when he was nearly choked unconscious moments ago. Sharp arguing with the referee, telling him it should be a 3 count. He doesn't want to give Taylor Bryden a window of opportunity. With the Sharp going, he's prancing up and down the apron, taking his sweet time here. This backfired on Bryden earlier. We saw he was a bit slow in climbing the turnbuckles, a bit hesitant, and then Looking Sharp shook the ropes, and he's Sharp's playing the crowd. Bryden is stirring. Can Sharp hit what he's going for? Nope. Bryden moves. Sharp rolls out of it though, and a spinning leg lariat right in the injured face of Looking Sharp, and that's going to cause his eyes to water. He'll be sending Sharp pain racing through his head. Obviously the guard in his face protects him from damage, but he can still feel the pain of that guard getting smacked into his face. And talking about feeling pain, look who's at ringside is Dickie Divers, the man who attacked Taylor Bryden after their match. He's not scheduled for a contest. What's he doing here? Surely he's not come out to give Looking Sharp some moral support, is he? Both men trading punches. Who's going to get the better of this? It looks like it's Bryden. But not Sharp now, and both men with forearms, and they both hit each other right in the face and both go down. Diver slated to get in the ring. Oh, it's going to be a 2-on-1. Bryden's going to get beaten up 2-on-1. Diver's going to nail him, and he hits Sharp. Dickie Diver just hits Looking Sharp. What was that about? I don't get it. And wait, the referee's called for the bell. I think he's disqualified Taylor Bryden. Let's go down to John Short. Let's see if he can get the official word.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee's decision. Taylor Bryden, your winner by disqualification.
That's the worst cut in the world, Bob.
Whoa!
King
Sharp.
So that's what happened. Dickie Divers came in and attacked Looking Sharp, knowing that Bryden would get disqualified, therefore not advancing in the tournament. And you saw Bryden chase Divers backstage. Divers got a match to prepare for later on. So Looking Sharp, in his first ever 7 Deadly Sins tournament, advances into the semi-finals. He joins Craig Stevens in the submission matches that make up round 3 of 7 Deadly Sins. And we'll be seeing Looking Sharp back tomorrow in Dunfermline for the second half of wrestling's toughest tournament, 7 Deadly Sins. So with Sharp and Stevens advance